meeting is being recorded.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, welcome back. Welcome back. How was your summer?
Summer was good, Steven. I just got back actually a couple weeks ago from a trip to Japan.
How was it?
Amazing. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
A lot of good pictures, a lot of good times. We saw a lot of fun, different things, different temples. One of the highlights was going to a sumo tournament that was in town. So besides it being like 100 degrees with humidity every day,
Mm.
yeah, it was rough. The weather was rough, but otherwise, yeah, fun trip.
What part of Japan did you go to?
We went to Tokyo, Kyoto, and then Nagano.
I had a coworker. He just got back from Tokyo as well. He said it was the best steak he ever had, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't get the Kobe steak, even though they had a lot everywhere. But I mean, I'm really a big seafood person, so getting
Yeah.
the fresh fish, the raw
Oh
tuna,
yeah.
all types of tunas. I mean, yeah, there was one place tuna was so white that I was like, are they just serving us ham? But it's just so fatty and like so well presented and cooked. It was amazing. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, definitely good times.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Well, I'll let you all take away movie reviews.
Yeah, sure thing. So I know it's been a couple weeks since I've been back, so I won't go into kind of the summer hits. But I'm sure if anyone hasn't seen Deadpool Wolverine yet, I recommend it. It's fun, Marvel time. You won't be if you're a fan of those movies, you won't be disappointed. A lot of Easter eggs, but that's okay. But really enjoyed it, and I think the rest of the United States enjoyed it too because it pretty much stayed at the top of the box office for most of the summer after Inside Out kind of waned. But what I want to talk about is few TV shows that just came out, and I am going to talk about The Perfect Couple, but I'm going to wait till the end because Steven, this was your recommendation, and I know we want to talk more about that. So, the first thing I'll start with is The Penguin, which is the latest HBO Max show following the same world as the Batman series and the Batman movie of course, The Penguin. And in this, Colin Farrell, if you remember in the movie, plays the role of the Penguin, who's kind of a low-level crime worker. He's not a mob boss per se. He works for Falcone, the main villain in the movie, but Falcone gets murdered in the movie. And so this is going to take place a few weeks after all that happens. And it's really a story of how this low level mob employee is going to start working his way up through the system and try to, as he's claiming he's going to take the city. He's going to become the top mob boss in Gotham. So one episode in, they're going to do weekly releases, but I was hooked. This is a fun watch, and Chica, I guess you've seen it too. But like, yeah, I mean, Colin Farrell really turns into the role. There's a lot of the critics are calling it like the new Sopranos. I don't want to be. That's a lot to put on a new show, but they're doing a good job. I mean, they're really slowly building this kind of world, and I love being in the Batman universe. Also gives us a little bit more. You get to see a little more DC characters and villains and things like that. Chica, I don't know if you had any thoughts on.
Yeah. So even from the Batman movie, I think that Colin Farrell killed that role because he's unrecognizable. You don't even know it's him. But I like how they are not taking things literal as they do in every other Batman movie. And you when you physically see him, you wonder why is he the Penguin? And then it's not until maybe 10 minutes into the series and you see him walk across the floor and you're like, oh, that's why they call him the Penguin.
Yep.
Not about how he looks, it's about his mannerisms. And it was just it was perfectly done. I think that the cinematography was great. I think that leaning more into a crime drama as opposed to the superhero aspect of things lends for it to be probably one of the better drama series related to the DC Marvel universe. I think it's going to be great. The first episode has me hooked too.
Now, they've done this before with Gotham. I've never seen it. I've heard good things about it. Did you ever watch that show?
I started out watching Gotham and then I got bored with it.
Okay.
This is going to keep me because this is more like a crime drama. It's more like a mafioso film.
Yeah. So highly recommend if you have a subscription to Max. My only complaint, because I like all my shows to come out at once, even if I'm not going to watch them all in one night, is to
Yeah.
just you have to wait each week. But that's the HBO model.
And I suspect they'll win some awards. Suspect that Emmy season next go around, they're gonna get some things.
Oh yeah. This is. I mean, I know House of Dragon came out in the summer, but this is. I feel like this is the real hit for HBO right now for the year. So yeah, they'll get some awards. So the next thing, going back into other dramas, is I went to watch the first episode, which is only one episode again, of the new Matlock show on CBS. This is a kind of a, I wouldn't call it a reboot, but it's a new series with Kathy Bates as Madeline Matlock. And in this universe, the Matlock show exists, and she references it at the beginning. Oh, everyone, I'm a lawyer, just like they say I'm like Matlock and all that stuff. So it's got a little bit of that charm and like kind of a tongue-in-cheek element to it. But this is another, I would say, a legal drama that follows Kathy Bates as she's going to solve some legal cases. But at the end, the first episode, without spoiling too much, there's a bigger picture and a bigger motivation for what she does. I'm not big on the legal drama shows. They're fine. They have their audience. I know Suits got really popular when it premiered on Netflix, and really revived the series and everything like that. So there's an audience for that. For me, I probably won't follow this too much, but I will say Kathy Bates does a great job, and it's a good first episode. I will say it does lean a little bit too much on the old person stereotype when they mention to the new people, "Oh, have you heard of this? Oh, no, I've never heard of this. Oh, you're too young." And then all the old people are like, "Oh, these kids don't know anything. They're too young for this." It's a little tropey, but it's a CBS show. I'm not gonna. I'm not. I'm not looking for any top quality content here.
Yeah.
But again, it was enjoyable, and if you like Kathy Bates and you like legal dramas, I think this will be a hit for CBS.
And fun fact, she said that this is her last job. She's retiring after this.
Wow, that's good. I mean, she's been working forever, so well earned. So I will finish with, speaking of bad writing and I think mediocre shows, The Perfect Couple. So this is a Netflix release. It's been the top show on Netflix, I think, for a few weeks now. And it's a mystery drama based on a book of the same name, starring Nicole Kidman and Liev Schreiber. And it's about a wedding that's about to happen with this rich family in Nantucket. And then, of course, the next morning, someone wakes up murdered, and we get the little in and outs of who's the one that maybe did it, what's dysfunctional about this family, and things like that. So I know, Stephen, you'll have some opinions. I saw 2 episodes. I might continue it, but I probably won't. It is a good background show. Again, it's not the genre for me. I know a lot of people will enjoy watching this. For me, though, the writing's really bad. Everyone's a stereotype. You got the jerk brother that
Yes.
calls out people and just has his own issues. You have, of course, the parents that are always having some kind of little issues, and then the setting is very pretty. So I will give it that. The
Very.
setting is really good, except for, again, you're getting the rich family that's been done to death, right? Rich family with issues, and secrets are coming out, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, I'll stop there because I know, Stephen, you probably have some thoughts. And again, I think there's an audience for this, but it was not for me.
Well, the reason why I watched it, because they were interviewing, I can't remember some of the cast. No, the author who wrote the book. This is like her. She's every book she has is a bestseller, but this was the first one they made to a movie. When they announced it to be a movie, like I could care less really because I'd never read her book anyway. But I didn't know it was on Netflix. So one day I was strolling there and said, "Oh, it's on here." You know what I mean? So I set out, let me watch it. And I will say the first episode I thought was going kind of slow until the end. And then from that point on, I watched because it's 6 episodes. I watched all four last week, and then this weekend I finished the last two. And I wonder what you thought about it, what you were gonna think about it. I didn't think you probably would like it, but I thought it was good. It was good. It definitely there was a cliffhanger at every end of every episode, and so it made you want to know more. But it is like you said, the rich family, and then they have the daughter-in-law, or who would be daughter-in-law. You know, she doesn't come from money, and she's trying to see if she fits in with this rich family. But then again, someone is murdered, so they're trying to figure out who murdered. And it was a lot of there's a lot that happens in this series, like a
Yeah.
lot. But I thought it was really good. I thought it was really
Well,
good.
and I will say Nicole Kidman, Lee Schreiber, they did a great job. Like the acting's
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
but if you haven't seen White Lotus, just watch that instead, or watch the other seasons of White Lotus. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to deal with rich families with problems, at least I think the writing's better there.
Well, they liked it at work.
And again, I know it's going to be a fan favorite. It's top of Netflix for the past few weeks, so people love it. It was not for me.
Someone
And
brought up in
I
a
do
meeting,
think,
have y'all seen The Perfect Couple? I said, oh yeah. And everybody was like, yeah, I saw that.
well, I'm glad some people enjoyed it.
Right.
And yeah, that was it for me for this last week.
Okay.
Okay. So I started watching Monster, the Menendez brother miniseries, and I also started watching a documentary based off the same thing. Listen, Mr. Ryan Murphy, these miniseries that you create, your accuracy, brother, is on point. Down to the hair, down to the outfits, down to the vehicles, down to the homes. I don't know who does the research for him or with him, but they get it accurate. It's close to accurate as it could possibly get. Because I was looking at the documentary and it was basically mirroring what was going on in the series as far as, you know, the accoutrement of what the people were wearing, the staging of homes, the vehicles and what they look like, decals even, like it was crazy. He's very meticulous when it comes to these shows that he portrays the past. And I think that's what gives them its authenticity. And I'm pretty much sold on anything Ryan Murphy does at this point because he hasn't failed yet. I mean, some certain things he goes a little bit overboard with the drama of it all, but it's embellishment. I love it. So yeah, and it's pretty good. I think the acting is great. There's some comedic moments in there, even though this is a serious situation. People got murdered, but there's moments in there with it's just unbelievable drama. But at the same time, they're trying to showcase how insane it was inside the home and allegedly why these two brothers decided to kill their parents. Um, it makes you think. I don't want to give anything away. People that may be too young to remember the Menendez brothers and the fact that they killed both of their parents in cold blood in their own home. I urge you to look at the documentary along with watching this miniseries. I think that when you watch a documentary, you know the real story, it gives the series more weight. So definitely check that out. I think it's pretty good. I saw Penguin. We discussed that. And I also watched a documentary on Max streaming called Chimp Crazy. And it was technically about, it was almost a reality show in documentary form of PETA cracking down on chimp owners, certain chimp owners in the United States. And there's one in particular chimp that was a movie star that went missing, and they went on a hunt to find out where the chimp was. And the woman was trying to protect him. Now I forget the woman's name, but she's a character all on her own because, and you can tell that they're making fun of her when they film it. Every scene that there's a different wig. She's addicted to plastic surgery, and her sense of logic is very twisted. And she's very serious though. But
Right.
the production team is having fun with it, and you can tell. And they'll like she's gone to procedures, and they'll say, "Well, why are we here?" And she'll say something like, "Oh, I just thought I needed to get my lips pumped up before we start filming." And they say, "Well, we're filming already," and she's like, "Oh, well." And then it's like it's really crazy. But her rationalization of harboring these animals, she really thinks that they're her children, and she doesn't see what kind of harm she's inflicting on the animal. Like she's feeding a chimp tasty cakes and hot dogs.
All
They
right.
don't need that.
Remember having that one woman.
Go ahead.
Remember having that one woman that was feeding her monkey Xanax and a wine and ripped her
Yeah,
face.
trying to calm him down. He doesn't belong in a house.
Yeah.
And then they said, well, she didn't say it, but someone that lived in the same town is she. They believe that her husband died, and they believe that she had a whole love affair with the chimp.
Yeah.
Check it out; it's crazy.
Oof.
And the last film I saw was Civil War. It was something that I wanted to see in the theaters, and I never could make it to get to the theaters, but it was pretty intense, and it pretty much follows a reporter's view of what is going on as the states separate and they're fighting for dominance because of difference of opinions and policy and laws, and certain states succeed from the nation and they want to fight, and the mission is get the president. So these reporters go on a trek to Washington, D.C. to get an interview with the president, but along the way, they run into different facets of war and the different ideologies that are in this country as it relates to what tribe you belong to. It's
Mhm.
pretty interesting, pretty scary. It stars Kristen Dunst, and it's actually on Max streaming now. So definitely check that out. It's pretty interesting. It's for you to watch with other people and to have conversations about.
Yeah, I remember when they were promoting that movie as well. I saw the interview when they were saying how it's a tall tale of what could happen if we don't
Yeah.
reel it in. Yeah. Well, I did see a movie yesterday. It's called Rebel Ridge, and again, this is one I saw everyone posting about on social media, and it popped up on Netflix. Can I tell you, I don't know what this movie is about, and I watched it, but the description is a former Marine confronts a corruption in a small town when a local law enforcement unjustly seizes a bag of cash he needs to post his cousin's bail. And it stars Aaron Pierre, who does a great job. I think all that actors do a good job. Don Johnson's in there. You hate his character, but he's in there. And Anna Sophia Robb, she's one of the co-stars. It's good, it's action packed, but again, I did not know what it was about. And then when it was over, I said, "That's it." You know? I mean,
It's
and it's
yeah.
2 hours 11 minutes long, so it's a I don't like long movies, but I watched it. Like I broke it up though, but I watched it and I just didn't know what it was about. I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's funny you say that. I watched the trailer for that because I was looking for some movies to watch, and these both popped up on Netflix. A few things. Yeah, and it looked like a vehicle for the star. Like it was
yeah,
like let's just put him in a bunch of scenes and doing things because it's another tropey movie where a marine is or a former army person or military
right.
person is done wrong by a local town and he has to get
Uh,
vengeance, and so
yeah,
it doesn't matter what they did wrong and what you just want to show a lot of vengeance scenes. I mean, I think the plot was they stole money from his he was going to bail his brother out, and they took his
cousin.
money
Yeah,
to bail his brother out, and so his only recourse was to do a bunch of action scenes.
yeah,
Yeah, it didn't interest me at all, but I'm glad you watched it and you were also
yeah.
like, "What is this?"
It scored 96 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm
Yeah,
getting
that's wild.
it's good. I just didn't know what it was about, and I was like, "Well, who's that person?" Okay,
From you describing it, it kind of sounds like a new age Rambo.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, but yeah, but yeah, the villains do a good job because you hate every last one of them.
Yeah.
And when they're getting beat up, you're like, get him, you know. But anything coming out of the pipeline?
A couple big things, I think. So, for anyone unfamiliar with this Megalopolis movie, which Francis Ford Coppola has self-financed. This must be the year of self-financed movies because Kevin Costner did it with Horizon also. This is another movie. I read the description. I don't even know what it's about, but it takes place in this giant city. There's going to be a ton of big name actors in it. This is one of those. It's getting a lot of press because it's a make or break. Like he's putting so much money into this, and if it bombs, then it's going to hurt him financially. But that's next weekend, so that's on the radar. The Joker sequel with Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn comes out a couple weeks from now, so that one's on the radar too. And I don't know if anyone else. has been getting a lot of this like 20th anniversary of Lost stuff, but I might rewatch the series. I don't know if either of y'all ever got into the show or ever liked it, but 20 years later, and it's still one of the best TV shows I think that came out during the mid aughts.
Yeah. What about you, Chike?
So I'm reading up on this new Neon release, and I trust everything that Neon does. I love their films. Um, this film starring Demi Moore called The Substance. I'm
Mm,
hearing a lot of great things about it, and they're already talking about Oscar buzz from her. She's
yeah.
one of my favorite actresses. I like her. And they're saying it's a more serious version of like Death Becomes Her. So
Oh, I
I'm
like that
pretty
movie.
interested in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you as always for letting us know what to spend our time, money on, whatnot. And we'll be right back after this.